Hello, hi. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about what is multi-stage Dockerfile and what are the key benefits of multi-stage Dockerfile, how the multi-stage builds actually work, and example of multi-stage Dockerfile, and real-time use cases in DevOps, and some practical tips and common mistakes. Okay, okay. Let's discuss about this. So sorry. What is multi-stage Dockerfile? So basically the definition was of multi-stage Dockerfile was in a single Dockerfile that uses a multiple from statements to create a separate build stages. Each stage can serve a different purposes like compiling code, installing the dependencies, or creating the final runtime image. That is the like actual definition of multi-stage Dockerfile. Okay, so why exactly it matters? If you see, let's first see this small analysis. Okay, a kind of non-technical example. I think of it like building a house. First, you will in the stage one you will have a construction site, right? So heavy machinery, raw materials, scaffolding, construction tools, messy temporary workspace, and then that was the first stage. And in the second stage your final house, where you can see a clean furnished rooms, only what residents actually need, no construction debris, no temporary workstations, anything. Okay, so multi-stage builds work in the same way. Uh, they build messy and ship it in a clean manner. Okay, so if you think why exactly it matters, it will makes a smaller images and keeps only what you need in a production at the end. Better security will be provided. It will remove your build tools and some uh, source code which is not required at the end, and planner process, like one file handles everything, and performance, it will definitely make sure faster deployment and less storage will be consumed. Okay, and moving to the next slide, we are going to discuss about benefits of multi-stage builds. So if you see the production advantages, there will be a gradually smaller images. That means we can go from 1 GB plus image size to 100 MB or less than that by executing a build dependencies. Okay, and enhanced security. So the security will be improved, where we are going to remove a compiler, dev tools, and source code from final image. Okay, which is not required at final, we are going to remove. Okay, and single Docker file management, uh, one file or both build and runtime. Okay, like single file, both build and runtime will be maintained. Easier maintenance will become. Okay, and faster deployment also will be done, where images is smaller, and it is faster to push pull, time will be reduced, and also it is quicker for scaling also. Okay, and coming to the cost efficiency, it is having a less storage and bandwidth which be consumed less, and the computer resource also uh, consumed less only. Okay, and coming to the development best practices, make sure to have a clean separation. Build dependencies separate from runtime dependencies. That is the best practice. Better caching need to be enabled. Docker can cache intermediate stages for faster rebuilds. Sorry, rebuilds, and parallel processing need to be enabled. different stages can be built concurrently whenever it is possible, and environment consistency need to be maintained. Same build process for development, staging, production, like that. And simplified CI/CD we need to maintain. Make sure to have a one Docker file, multiple deployment targets. Okay, so that is the some best practices from developer end. And coming to the how exactly the multi-stage builds work. Okay, if you see here, um, this is like how exactly the step by step of flow works. Okay, we are going to build a image. Okay, first, then we are going to copy like whatever we require from the builder. We are going to give the first stage name as builder. Okay, we are just copying that from the builder to a final image. Okay, and we are copy only the compiled artifacts and minimal runtimes which is required. Okay, so this is the final stage, and then uh, we are going to build a Docker. Okay, so that will, whenever we build a image, that will basically optimize the image, and that will be a small, secure, and production ready container will be up and ready. Okay, and coming to the key concepts here, multiple from statements is included. Each creates a new stage. How here it is shown. Okay, so this is also one stage. This is also one stage. Okay, and we are going to name the stages. Use as. Okay, so this is the like how we need to name the stage actually. Okay, as. And here if you see there is no name. Okay, so here this is the final stage, that means. Okay, and copy hyphen hyphen from transfers files between the stages. We need to use this particular command in the Docker file to transfer the files from one stage to another stage. And the final stage, I will show the clear cut final example also, no worries. Okay, and from last from becomes the final from. Okay, as we shown here. And this is like basic small syntax. So we do have a stage one, which is build stage. So this is the command from node 18, like image was node 8 and version was 18 as builder. This is the name of the what a stage. Okay, and then later we are going to pass a build commands here, and then coming to the stage 2, where we are using the node 18 alpine, which is a smaller image, and then we are copy using this particular command, copy hyphen hyphen from builder. Builder is the name of the build stage, right? So from that particular stage, wherever we have a build a folder. Okay, so we are copying that particular folder. Okay, and then moving to the next slide, we do have a docker file example. Okay, I mean, don't get confusion here, it was something little clumsy. I haven't properly aligned the HTML. I will show one test file which the same example I have noted down in a notepad. Okay, so this is the test file where we can see a stage 1 as well as a stage 2. Okay, so here in stage 1 some normal docker file is there from and we are giving the name of the stage, and then we are setting up the app as a working directory, and then we are copying the like package JSON file, and then we are installing all the dependencies by using above file, and then we are copying the source code from the current directory to the current directory. Okay, and then uh, we are going to build the application with the help of docker npm run build, and then we are going to run your tests by using docker npm run test, and then we remove dev dependencies like whatever the dependencies which is not required. Okay, run npm prune production, it will basically remove your dev dependencies. Okay, and then moving to the little down, I will align one moment. Yeah, here we started a stage 2, which is the production stage, and then we are using lightweight image, and we have also given a production as a name, and we have created a non-root user for security purpose. Okay, and then we are setting up a working directory in this particular new image. Okay, and then we copy the only production dependencies. Okay, so whatever the only production dependencies we do have, we are copying the same from the earlier build session. Okay, like slash app slash node modules to the current directory into the node modules folder. Okay, and then we are copying the build application built application. Okay, not the source code, it is built application. We are not putting any source code in the final image. So this is working as a final image. Okay, the production image, and then based upon this image only docker file will be created. Okay, the above will be not considered, like that it will work. Okay, and I mean, whenever building a image, obviously the steps will be run, the above stage steps also will be run. But here, what as per our commands, we are entirely using like stage as production for final. Okay, and then we are copying the built application, and then we are changing the owner to the uh, non-root user, and then we are using the non-root user whatever earlier created, and then we are exposing our application to a container in 3000 port, and then we are just performing some health checkups, and then we are starting our application. Okay, and here you can see final image size is less than 150 MB, and earlier it is 1.2 GB without multi-stage. Okay, so that is the like big significance here. uh, it is a small example for node.js application. It is the same way in the real time, you can see in organizations or some your own projects also. Okay, and coming to the um use cases in DevOps especially. So it is kind of a scenarios I will cover at the end of the video. First we'll discuss about some practical tips and common mistakes. Okay, so coming to the some best practices, make sure to use a name for your stage. Okay, for maintaining clarity by using this command from node as keyword, and then builder, this is the stage name. Order stage strategically. Okay, so most changing files lost for better caching. Okay, so whatever the most changing files are there, we need to make sure, sorry, use that for better caching purpose. Use a specific base image like alpine uh, instead of this. Okay, we are not supposed to use hyphen tag. Instead we need to use specify like this. Okay, with the specific base image, use a specific base image. Okay, with a specific name, with a specific version tag, everything. Copy only what exactly you need. Okay, so like whatever the uh, exactly target folder you need, just to copy that. Okay, and use a docker ignore files, where that will exclude uh, or like whatever the things we are not supposed to be included as a final image. Okay, so that is also one of the best practice. Run tests in build stage. So why? Because if we run the tests in production, then again it will increases the size. So and also we can fail fast if the tests don't pass. Okay, so that is also one of the best practice. Add a health checkups where we can monitor the container health in the production, and these are the some don'ts, which is some common mistakes. Don't copy everything. Avoid copy uh, like every directory to the current directory to uh, in final stage. Okay, especially during final stage you don't do that. In the build stage you can do this. Don't use root user. We need to create a dedicated user for security purpose. Don't include build tools like dev dependencies into your production. No compilers. Okay, and don't hardcode versions. Use a ARG for flexible version management. Okay, and don't skip layer optimization. Combine related run commands with and. Okay, so if you use this particular and, the command will be the like same, and no new layer is created. Okay, and don't forget to clean up, remove all packages, cache and temp files. Don't ignore manage scanning. Always scan for vulnerabilities. Okay, by using tools. These are the some best practices and common mistakes. And coming to the lastly, we are going to just see what are the interview scenarios we might get. So uh, this is a scenario you can see in CI/CD pipelines. The problem was build artifacts cluttering production images. In that case, you need to build stages. Stage compiles code, and test stages runs the tests, and then final stage which contains only the runtime. Okay, and here the benefit was faster deployment will be happen, and cleaner rollbacks will be done. Let's say we have a front end and back end. The problem was React app needs node build tools, but production needs only static files. In this particular case, build stage with full node.js, and then final stage with nginx serving a build files. And here the benefit was obviously the image size will be reduced from 1.5 GB to 25 MB image size. And coming to the secret management, we do have a problem like build time secrets like certificates, API keys uh, in your final image. Okay, but the solution was use your secrets in build image, build stage actually, and don't copy the to copy that to the production stage. So here the security compliance will be enhanced. And coming to the testing integration, uh, the problem here was we wanted to run a test, but not include test frameworks in production. So in that case, we need to separate a test stage with test dependencies, and here the quality gets without bloated. Okay, I mean, and if you see the interview questions also, uh, how how would you optimize a Docker image for production? We can use multi-stage builds. What is the difference between build time and runtime dependencies? So, like separate stages. Okay, build time, this is a one stage, and runtime dependencies, which is another stage. How do you handle secrets in Docker file, Docker builds? Uh, build secrets, clean final stage. So in the build stage we can build a secrets, and then in the final stage we are going to clean a final stage. Why are your images so large? In that case we need to include only, whenever we include only runtime necessities, then the image size can be reduced. Okay, yeah, these are the things I wanted to discuss in this particular video, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you for watching the video.